What is going on, Skol family? I'm Kyle.
I'm Darin.
And I'm Onebar.
And this is the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast. What is going on, Purple Dope family? You are turning into the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast. We are part of the Let's Skol network, where my friend Darin and I sit down every single week and we discuss how this team gets our hopes extremely high and eventually crushes them at some point in time and multiple times in the 2025 season. But we are continuing our series called Straight Skol, where we are bringing in one of the very best. He is the co-host of the Onebar and Lupagus show on YouTube, as well as other platforms. Matt Falk, a.k.a. Onebar. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful. We were just talking a little Sam Darnold. I'm sure we'll be talking about him a little bit more today. Excited to talk some Vikings, man. I've been keeping tabs on your show. You guys do an awesome job, so thanks for having me.
Oh, man, well, we appreciate you taking the time to join us and, be a part of what we're doing here with the Purple Dopes. And, yes, we will discuss that quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks who shall remain nameless with the Purple Dopes this morning. So, but before we do that, man, it's always fun when we bring on guests to Straight Skol to just kind of hear how you became a fan of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, born and raised northern Minnesota. It's funny. A lot of Darin, I don't know if you get this, but a lot of people who watch the show love seeing the comments about our Minnesota accent. And I fully admit, just thick as hell. Yeah. And it seems to be getting worse with age. So Vikings fan, I mean, kind of the same as a lot of people. You know, you grow up, your old man's a Vikings fan, and it just leaks over to you. And I still remember, it's weird. I remember the very first time, my very first Viking memory, and my dad was on the couch. It was probably late 80s-ish, and he's got the Vikings game on. It's a night game. I think it was a night game, and I'm just begging him, like, dude, turn the channel. This is boring. This is the worst. I'm sure Elf was on or He-Man or something that I wanted to watch. And 5 minutes later, I'm like, no, this is fantastic. I'm hooked. I don't even remember the quarterback. It was probably like Wade Wilson or something.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, from there, it just I couldn't get enough of it. I mean, that was the heyday, the late 80s, early 90s with those defensive guys. I mean, people who watch my show know I talk about Anthony Carter and Keith Millard way too damn much. But it was those guys that just, boom, got you hooked. And from then on, it's been heartbreak, but you know what? It's been worth it.
100%. Wouldn't have it any other way. Maybe throw a Super Bowl in there, but
you know, it's funny. It's actually sad. I used to hear my grandpa, who was a big Vikings fan. He just like, got just one before I die. Well, yeah. He's gone. So my dad, just one before I die. He's getting up there. Now I'm starting to think, man, I'm going to start saying that pretty soon. This is painful.
Yeah. All of a sudden we're going to blink and be in our 60s. Like, it still hasn't happened.
I think it's just the tagline for every generation of Vikings fans. You know, Darin and I can both relate to our dads being Vikings fans, kind of bringing us into the fandom. But I know my dad makes the same comments, and it's like, I feel like I'm just going to embrace that, make a bumper sticker, maybe make a couple bucks off it. I don't know. Here we go.
I feel like I'm working out more. I'm eating better just so I can live longer, just for this case. My family aside, it's all about the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe we should send a thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for, helping us put our health in a priority in our lives, because we want to live longer, because we want to give them more time to bring us that Super Bowl trophy.
I don't know. We drink a lot of beer over at the Onebar and Lupagus show. I don't know if that's helping our cause very well.
You're balancing
it balances.
Exactly. Well, it's always fun, man. I know you've been, covering the Vikings, on your show. And I know that you get lots of opportunities with the Vikings. So as you cover them, kind of what is one of your favorite Viking stories, whether that be being a part of a game, an event, interactions with players? Like, when you think back to your journey here on your show, like, what's been one of your favorite moments?
Yeah, we've been lucky as far as some of the guests we've had on. It's been fun. We've had John Randall on. We've had Chuck Foreman, Najee Thompson, when he was our special teams beast there for a little glimpse. He was on a lot, and he was fun as hell. I got to meet him. So that's always fun to have them on. But I mean, really, it's kind of sounds cheesy, but it's all about the viewers, bringing them on, just having a blast with those guys. We got some diehard viewers that we love and appreciate very much. So it's awesome bringing those guys on. And then come draft time, we love having draft prospects come on, picking their brains. Yeah. Last year we struck gold because we brought on Max Brosmer. It was early. And at that point, he was looked at as an undrafted free agent, which he did go. Yeah. But then then the Vikings sign him. We're like, every year, Lupkus and I are like, let's these late round guys, like, let's interview them. Let's get them on, because you never know, they could end up being Vikings. So that's great. And then obviously, just going to the games in general. I mean, going to the games is the best. I even went to one. My wife, unfortunately, is a Packer fan.
No,
she's from Wisconsin. I give her a pass because she's from Wisconsin. If she wasn't, I wouldn't know her. But I actually went to Lambeau, something I said I would never ever do. I'm not stepping foot in Lambeau. And I became a Sally and went to Lambeau, and it was actually pretty good. They were pretty nice. So just going to the different stadiums, even when the Vikings played where the Gophers play, back at the Dome. There's so many damn memories. I could sit here and talk for 6 more hours.
Yeah. Well, when did you, like, how long have you guys been doing your show? How did that come about? Like, what's your relationship with Lupkus? Like, how did you guys get together?
Yeah, so Lupkus and I grew up. He's from the same town, and we were actually just great best friends. And we used to have a draft site way back when there wasn't a ton out there, and it was draftseason.com, and it was one of the bigger ones for a while there. Huh. And one day we're just like, you know what? Let's do a podcast. We did a podcast for a little while. I think our moms listened. That's about it. And then it worked out. We got very lucky, because one day I just said, you know what? Let's just do YouTube. There's already a handful of Vikings channels. Let's just try it. And the timing of it was perfect, because we did it right before the draft, and it was just the perfect time. Like, we all of a sudden just, like, luckily got some subscribers, and that just continued to snowball. And we've been doing it for 4.5 years, 5 years. Yeah. And it's just consistency. It's just consistency. You just got to boom, and pump those out.
Was that the Justin Jefferson draft then that you started right before?
Oh, man, was it?
4.5, 5 years has got to be about that draft, right?
Yeah, it was about that. And like I said, it was perfect timing. I mean, there's a ton of Vikings channels out now, which is fantastic. Sure, yeah. And we do, and it sounds like I'm pulling this out of my butt. Like, we do we watch a lot of the shows. We tune in to you guys. We tune in to Rap Man. We tune in to all those guys. And it's awesome, because they're just fun to watch, and we have them on the shows, and we're going to get you guys on for sure. It's just a great community.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I think it goes back to, like, we find a community in our disappointment, right? We find community in our sadness, and there's just something about this team. You know, Darin and I have that same kind of connection. It's like our friendship formed over the Minnesota Vikings, and you know, we're working on 4 or 5 years of friendship where you know, we had no other commonalities except the Minnesota Vikings, and now we talk more than probably I talk to my wife some weeks. So yeah, right. especially during the season, I know that's true. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I got this little extra room that's above my garage. That's where I'm in. Nice. And there's like draft day and free agency day. We'll stream for, I think last free agency we streamed for like 9.5 hours. Oh, nice. And my family just knows that door's closed. It's like, maybe see you tomorrow. Maybe we'll see.
That's great.
Well, last question here as we kind of get to know you a little bit. I want to know, what's your biggest what if story when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings? So as you think back, as your journey of fandom back to the 80s, what's that moment where you always go back to of, well, what if this would have happened for the Vikings?
Man, I'm trying to get creative with this one. It's hard to, because our biggest what ifs are our biggest heartbreaks. I mean, to me, obviously the 98 season, the biggest what if, I guess, in a game was in the 98 championship when Denny Green, 3rd and short with 2 timeouts, takes a knee to go to overtime. I mean, that's got to go down. I love Dennis Green. I love the 98 team. Like, I loved everything about it, but that was the weirdest play call ever. I mean, we were back in the other territory, but 3rd and 3, 2 timeouts, like 30 seconds left, and he takes a knee.
The greatest offense.
The best damn offense out there.
I mean, really, for a shot to throw into the end zone to Moss at the end of the game.
Anything. I mean, that one, I was such a spaz at that age. I mean, I was probably like 16, 17, whatever. And I think I sat in my room for 3 days after that. But the one thing is the worst. The 2009, for some reason, stings worse. Like that one just burns my butt more so the Favre interception. If he holds on to that ball and just runs, you got who? Longwell kicking a 50 whatever yarder.
Longwell's not missing that, man. There's no way Longwell would have hit from 60 to go to the Super Bowl.
I like doing the what ifs from the other side. All the times I've been wrong. Like I did not want us to draft Percy Harvin. I mean, there's so many times I've been wrong. I look at from the other side of things because it's so easy. I mean, especially on X, you guys are on there. I mean, you see all these guys. I mean, Sam Darnold. That's the biggest what if right now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's funny. I've never thought of it that way. I always forget about the times I was wrong. Just try to remember the ones I'm right. So
yeah, nobody likes talking about that. I've been wrong so many damn times.
I think it's because those moments don't sting, right? Those are the moments that don't sit in your brains when you're laying in bed at night wondering, what if Gary Anderson doesn't miss his first field goal of his season on that drive? It's just like the what if sting the most. So
yeah, what stings the most is when they love to replay that game on NFL Network. I swear, anytime I put it on, it's either that or 2009. It's painful.
Well, I've never watched either game. I've never watched either.
Oh, no way.
Oh, watch them again?
No, I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's coming. Like again, the 12 men in the huddle against the Saints when I think we're at like the 30 when moves them back.
Who was that? It's a running back. Yeah, it was bad. The biggest what ifs for me really come to the draft, though. I mean, it's always doing redrafts and looking at him like, oh, I can't believe that guy was still there. Kyle Hamilton instead of Lewis C. I mean, all of that stuff. That's where you really get in the weeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one, especially right now, is a little painful with Harrison Smith retiring and needing a safety. Having the best one in the NFL would be kind of nice.
Oh, well, let's get a little bit into our current Vikings team here. And we want to talk a little bit about the good news that came out of this past week with you, which was the contract extension of Brian Flores. Kind of your thoughts on that. How you feeling about bringing B-Flow back to kind of run this defense? Seems like all the head coaching jobs that were potentially his are no longer on the table. And it seems like he's going to be the Minnesota Vikings coordinator next year. So how you feeling about that?
I love it. I mean, how can you not? You get some of these guys out there saying, "Oh, nobody likes him," whatever, blah blah blah. Who cares? He's got one of the best defenses in the league. This was a must. Absolutely. And the good part is for me is everyone's wondering like, why aren't they interviewing defensive coordinators? What's going on? They're not doing anything while he's going out there. And then it finally comes out like this was in place like a week prior. So that should make Vikings fans feel better. But you had to bring him back. I mean, really for B-Flow, he deserves a head coaching job. Yeah. The fact that there were that many openings this year and he still didn't get one, and really he didn't even come close. I mean, even when the Schefter, whoever it was, put out the top 3 for the Steelers, he wasn't even on there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just got to be thinking at this point, it's not going to happen. It would have happened. So I love that they paid him a ton of money. He deserves it. You can go into the conspiracy theory world and say, well, they wanted him here so bad. If stuff goes off the rails next year, there could be an in-season firing if stuff is absolutely disgusting. And they got a guy that they can just say, hey, interim coach, let's see what you got. And let's see what you got. And maybe you're their head coach. So I think there is something to that, but I love everything about it. The guys he's brought along, like the Jalen Redmonds, you look what Blake Cashman's doing out there.
And Ginkle.
We need him. Yeah, we need them. I love it. I love everything about it.
Yeah, Darin, you and I haven't had a chance to discuss it. How were you feeling when Flores got that extension?
I mean, I was psyched, obviously. I never actually thought he'd be leaving for anything other than a head coach job. I mean, I know there are rumors out there he's going to the Packers or the Cowboys like that. Just never added up for me that he'd leave for The Packers might have been a better, at least in terms of personnel, they might have better personnel, but a lot of these guys Flores kind of handpicked, it seems like, so it really didn't add up to me that he would walk away from this team for anything other than a head coaching job.
Yeah, I think that, hearing that it was in order a week before, I think it should be really encouraging to fans, because I know as you follow the Vikings community on Twitter or X, I mean, there were a lot of people calling for the heads. I mean, they wanted to know, like, why are we not talking? And in the back of my mind, I think, silence sometimes should give us some confidence. And I feel like there was something going on in the works. And obviously, hearing the news come out now. But I will say that there was some nerves there, when I heard he got a second interview with the Steelers, just because I felt like that was probably the best fit for him to go somewhere. But when he didn't, now I got to ask the question, is it Minnesota Vikings head coach or nothing? Because it seems like if this was the year to do it, he would have done it.
Yeah, and the Steelers had him as that linebacker coach. They were one of the teams, I think it was the first team after everything that went down, he's suing the NFL, they brought him in. And the fact that he wasn't even a finalist, it's just very, very odd to me. And it's weird, but it worked out for the Vikings fans. I mean, what's your thoughts on Matt Daniels? Why the hell is Matt Daniels still here, special teams coach?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It felt like there needed to be a head rolling after the season. And I don't know if it's just going to be the offensive line coach and that's going to be it, but felt like Matt Daniels, maybe even Wes Phillips might have been on the chopping block there. But yeah, it seems like they're both going to be around. So I don't know.
Whoa. Not great.
No. I mean, again, like that return against the Bears. I mean, again, who knows how everything plays out if we end up pulling that one off, but turns out that was what kept us out of the playoffs. So
Oh, well, is it a realistic possibility that Joe Burrow becomes a Minnesota Vikings in the offseason?
What do you guys think?
I literally have no idea. I'm like so confused how we are just throwing out like every single trade possibility in the world right now. And we aren't even really allowed to trade anyone. So it's a little confusing how these conspiracies keep popping up. But a name like Joe Burrow, am I interested in that 9 over JJ McCarthy 9? Yeah, I would take that into consideration. But man, the haul that it's going to take to bring a guy like Joe Burrow in, I think about the Rams' success. And I mean, I feel like this deal, if they were to make it, would look a lot like that Matthew Stafford deal, where you're basically not going to have a draft pick for the next 3 to 4 years, first round draft pick. But it worked out pretty well for the Rams. I mean, they got their Super Bowl.
I think the deals I'm seeing out there, it's like 2 or 3 firsts, a second, plus you're giving up McCarthy,
maybe Grenard
or Turner, or Addison thrown into the mix. Like, it's a lot to give up. I mean, if they did it, I'd be excited. I won't lie about that, but I don't know if I'd pull the trigger on that amount of capital that you're dropping there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too bad. The Vikings, JJ McCarthy. I'm definitely not giving up on JJ McCarthy. I don't know where you guys stand there, but like I'm not giving up on him. But also, I mean, he didn't really give a ton of warm and fuzzies. So the Vikings continue to just make these moves where they get a Sam Bradford, they get a Kirk Cousins. I mean, we can go down the list of all these quarterbacks that they end up trading for or signing because they can't get their own guy. They can't get a Ponder. They can't get a Teddy Bridgewater. And then JJ McCarthy early. So it's like you have people on both sides of the fence where you don't want to give up the draft capital for Joe Burrow, but also there's not a ton of trust that Kwesi, as long as he's here, is going to use that draft capital to do anything. So it's like you can't be fair point. You can't go on both sides. It's like, so whatever, if Joe Burrow was here, I could give 2 craps about the compensation. If you're giving up McCarthy, it's irrelevant anyways, because he's done. If you trade for Joe Burrow, JJ McCarthy era is over. So that's a wash. So I mean, in the draft picks, I mean, everything you're seeing, at least a couple first rounders, sometimes even more. And then you throw in Jonathan Grenard. I think the Vikings, and I'm sure we'll talk about the future, but like they're in such a weird limbo. I think anything is on the table this offseason. Anything. Trades, Addison, Grenard, trading for a quarterback, anything's on the table. And at this point where I'm at, I'm open to anything. I'm not going to poo-poo anything. I'm like, bring it on. Let's get something going here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you right now. Like, I'm still buying McCarthy stock, but that being said, if he's part of this deal, like if we bring in another quarterback, it doesn't really matter if he's on the roster or not. I agree with you on that. So he may as well be part of the deal. Feels like we need more in terms of like bringing in draft picks. But again, I guess to your point, Kwesi hasn't hit on really anything.
Will Reichard. Claim the fame, baby. Hell of a pick.
And Addison, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Kwesi, KOC. I mean, it seems like their jobs might be on the line this current year. So they might do whatever they need to put a winning team on the field going into next year. So
yeah,
if that's Burrow, hell yeah.
Listen, the Vikings won 9 games and didn't have a relevant quarterback all season. So give us a relevant quarterback. That's all we need. Give us a relevant quarterback, and that team is in the playoffs, potentially playing against Sam Darnold to go to the Super Bowl this season. So to me, I just we have to get somebody that, number one, the team trusts, which it seems like there's a lot of buy-in on JJ McCarthy when it comes to the Vikings. And so I think that they are behind him. Obviously the fans are pretty split when it comes to McCarthy, but the Purple Dopes, we've been behind McCarthy. I mean, truth be told, this is his rookie season. You look at those guys that were playing, in the AFC Championship of Bo Nix and Drake May. That was their second season, and they led their teams to the AFC Championship. So can we give JJ McCarthy a true second year as the quarterback? Absolutely. But to you guys' point, we got to explore options because everything's got to be on the table when it comes to this offseason for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, it's all I want in a perfect world for me. Obviously, Burrow is like a little bit fantasy land. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like in a perfect world, they bring in competition that is actual competition. Yeah. Like a guy that really, like, I almost want, and I get killed for this on our channel. Nobody wants to hear it. You guys don't want to hear it. I want them to bring Kirk Cousins in, and I want him to come in because Kevin O'Connell loves this guy. He loves him. Like, it is going to be very difficult for them to bring in Kirk Cousins and bench his ass when he comes here. So, like, I want somebody that is – so if J.J. McCarthy wins that job, it's like, all right, this dude is ready to go. We need some real competition. If they go and sign a quarterback, a Jimmy Garoppolo, who in that era, it's like, come on, man. We need somebody to push McCarthy. He hasn't been pushed. This year he was handed the job, which he should have been. I agree. But, like, they need to do something. And like you guys said, like, Kwesi and KOC are under the gun. They got to make something happen. They can't go another season that doesn't result in the playoffs and maybe a playoff win. I would be crapping my pants if I were them.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you on the Cousins thing if we can sign him without giving up draft compensation.
Yeah,
I don't want to
for
trade for him. Sure. I don't want to give up a second-round pick. But if he's cut, I'm totally on board with signing him because I think that he's the best you can possibly hope for. You see the trades for like Mac Jones. I don't want to give up a second round pick for Mac Jones.
Gross.
Yeah. Like, again, we need the draft compensation. So I've seen, on X, go big or just sign someone. So if you're going to trade for Burrow, otherwise sign the best quarterback you can.
Yeah. I mean, on the Kirk Cousins thing, I want them to sign him, but I don't want him to win the job. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I don't want Kirk Cousins to come here and be day one starter. I want him to lose the job. And then, hey, you know what? JJ McCarthy, short career, he's been injured a lot. If he does go down, you got a hell of a backup quarterback coming in. I mean, Cousins played pretty damn well down the stretch for the Falcons.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I want him to lose the job 100%, but I want him pushing McCarthy. Boom, boom, boom.
And I think that's why, maybe Vikings fans have so many doubts in the front office right now, is because last season we were kind of promised that JJ McCarthy was ready, that he was the guy, that he was going to come in and he was going to bring the Super Bowl to the Vikings this season. And I mean, that plan failed. I mean, their expectations for McCarthy may have been a little bit too high. We had Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz goes down. We don't sign a backup. We leave Max Brosmer back there. I just think there's a lot of questions in the Vikings fandom. And I think McCarthy earning the spot would say a lot to Vikings fans to get behind the guy again.
I can't wait when this regime is over and somebody comes out and like, I want to know who JJ's guy was. Was it Kwesi? Was it KOC?
Yeah.
Was it both of them? Because to me, it seems a little far-fetched that they were both all in on him. Like even draft time, it was pretty split if people were in on McCarthy. I mean, there was a lot of mocks, him going to the Giants, rumors that, and then there was some like, we don't even have him in the first round. I can't wait to see whose guy he was, because he can't tell. I mean, who do you guys got to guess on whose guy it was?
I'm guessing Kwesi. Like everything, I remember that draft here. It sounded like KOC wanted to give up everything they could to go up and get Drake May.
Yeah. I think that Kwesi was the driver behind that pick. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like KOC is like Mike Zimmer shunning him like Kellen Mond happened. It sounds like, it seems like
or Kellen.
I know. Geez, I feel bad for that guy going a whole season not talking to your head coach. Makes me a little sad in the heart.
These Zimmer stories coming. I liked Zimmer as a coach, but man, these stories after he's been gone, it's like, holy smokes, he was a harsh dude.
I got a sidebar quick. We had Kyle Sloter on the show, and when he came on, we asked him about Zimmer, and he said, "So do you remember it when Sloter got signed at the end of that one season, like basically like the last week?"
Yep.
He said that Spielman signed him without talking to Zimmer just because they already knew they were both getting canned. He wanted to piss off Zimmer so bad, he signed Kyle Sloter just to piss him off. Sloter just said that. He goes, "Yeah, that was the only reason. Zimmer didn't talk to me, and that was it. They were both fired, and I was gone." I mean, it was one of the best stories we've heard on the show, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was great. But yeah, anyways.
Well, we've been chatting a lot about, draft potential for the Vikings. What do you feel like is the top priority this offseason? Let's go we've chatted about the quarterback, but when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings offense or defense, like when it comes to this draft coming up, what do you feel like is our top priority?
Man, that's a tough one. There's so many ways they can go. I mean, cornerback seems to be the hot one in round one.
Yeah.
Cornerback. And there's some good ones. The Terrells, the Delane from LSU. That definitely needs to be addressed. Our defensive front or front seven really made them look even better than they probably were. That secondary. So I would say cornerback, but I mean, we don't have a center either. We don't have a center right now. Michael Juergens, maybe go sell some car insurance. I don't know, but like Ryan Kelly's going to retire. So you look at center, you look at corner, you look at running back. You look at what was it? D-line. Peter Woods from Clemson would be beautiful there at 18. Yeah. There's a lot. My whole thing is at this point, just draft the best player available. Quit getting fancy. Quit trying to just force a position. We've seen them do that too many times. Get the best player available, and that's it.
Yep.
Don't be trading down 15 times. Just talent. We need it.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I would say yes to that, just not a wideout or a running back. Even though I know we need a running back, I feel like there's so many stories about late round running backs that are totally serviceable in your team. So I just best non-wide receiver running back available.
I think that's been kind of the theme, as Darin and I have been talking here on the Purple Dopes with Hopes. It's just like first round, we got to go after the best guy out there. And, when it comes to, as Darin said, with the exception of maybe a couple spots, but, we need to have talent on our roster, and Kwesi needs to hit on this draft. Like, this is a crucial draft when it comes to the Vikings front office. And I think that, man, we need to get the best players for this team. And, I know Darin's mentioned this handful of times, but like guys that are going to come in and start, we can't have guys that we have to develop over 2, 3, 4 years. Even like a Dallas Turner in his second year had a standout season, but we need that year one with some of these draft picks because we got enough spots that we're going to need some starters to come in and be ready to go.
Yeah, it's Kyle. It's funny you say that because when I'm looking at draft guys at this point, I will look and if I see anything about like, developmental, whatever, I'm already moving on. It's like these guys don't have time in the first 3 rounds or whatever to get anybody developmental. They have to get, like you said, day one starters or day one impact players.
For sure.
These guys need to be active on game day. Like we're past that. These guys are playing for for their jobs, coaching for their jobs. And it's going to be interesting. And then free agency is going to be a big part of that as well. I mean, they're going to have to make some significant moves, even after last year's free agency where they spent 350 whatever million and it got them nothing.
Got him. Will Fries was probably the only guy that
When we got Will Fries, it was like Will Fries, Jonathan Allen, and who's the third one?
Hargrave and Kelly.
Yes. It was just like, this is it, baby. We're going old, but this is the year we're going to win. We should not have got these guys. And
there's a reason why no one wanted Jonathan Allen or Javon Hargrave.
But when we signed him 2 seconds later, I was all for it. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
He's a little bit older, but he's going to be healthy here. He's going to be great.
Oh, there's the hopes right there. Onebar, dude, you are like you're on the right show this morning. You're on the right show. Well, let's just launch into the last thought here, which is former Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold is headed to the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. What are your feelings right now as you watch the guy that we let walk out, the Seahawks to sign, now playing for a Super Bowl with the Seahawks? How did you feel watching that game last night?
I you know what? It's funny going into the playoffs. My thought process was like, you know what, Sam Darnold, I thought he was going to lose the first game, 100%. And I was like, you know what, he can't go to the Super Bowl. That would be so bad. But then I'm thinking like, well, who cares? Like, I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. It's fellow Ginger, man. Me and Sam Darnold are connected. We are joined. We love each other. No, I love it. And it's funny. Like, you look at all the Vikings fans, this morning, last night was just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. That's the biggest what if, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, who, if you're not rooting for Sam Darnold at this point, what he went through his career, man, find a different hobby. Go hug somebody. You need a hug. I like it. I want him to win the Super Bowl. I love it. The biggest part is why it doesn't bother me that much is the Vikings didn't have a choice. There was no choice there. They drafted JJ McCarthy. He was the future, and it was never really even in the conversation. So, I mean, I know it sounds like they gave him a lowball offer and he moved on, but it was, if we had not had McCarthy and we let him walk, it's 100% a different conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But like in my mind, it's just, it is what it is. It's gone. We've seen this show a million times. We've seen guys go elsewhere and rip it up. Good for him. I love it. It's great that he had such a good game yesterday.
Yeah.
And he's the Seahawks. He was meant to be on the Seahawks. They don't ask him to do as much as the Vikings did. It was all on him. I mean, you look at the stats. I think he threw the ball almost 100 times less this year. And the defense, everything they got going. I will be the biggest Sam Darnold fan come Super Bowl. I hope he gets it. I loved him holding that trophy. It was wonderful. And if you're not happy for him, then so be it. But I love it. Yeah. But you guys got to be. I mean, I know you're in Seattle, or Washington, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Sam Darnold fan. I mean, when the Vikings got him last season, I was a believer in him or JJ McCarthy. It didn't matter to me because I thought he deserved a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, whatever we gave him. I liked him coming in with KOC and the success he gave us. In a year where we really didn't feel very excited about it, he made it really fun. And so I'm a Sam Darnold fan. I'm excited for him. It's hard living in Washington State as a Vikings fan because you get the pointed questions all the time. Oh, yeah, why'd you guys get rid of Sam Darnold? Oh, thanks for Sam Darnold, which I appreciate those. It's good banter. But, he wasn't part of the plan. It was never part of the plan for Sam Darnold to be the starting quarterback of the Vikings. And it happened, and he gave us a magical run, and I'm thankful for that season. It was super fun to watch, super exciting. You miss sometimes. And, the Vikings let him go based on the plan that they had in place. And he went and he shined in Seattle. And I think you're 100% correct that if we kept him on the Vikings this year, I don't know that we would